Y'all give it up to Sheila right now for Bakari Sellers.
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, man, happy to have you, bro.
I'm glad to be one in the number, as they say. Thank you for having me back.
Yes, sir, man. Now, let's get into it, man, because last week Trump tweeted that he would most likely be arrested this week, which it didn't happen. The rumor dated was on Tuesday. Now it seems as though the House is trying to use their power to deflect any charges. So let me ask you, do you think he will be prosecuted or what's going on?
So Trump has a lot of problems. Trump has problems in three areas. He has problems with the Manhattan DA, who is Alvin Bragg. He has problems with Fannie Willis down in Atlanta, Georgia, with the Fulton County DA. And then he has problems with Jack Smith, who's the special prosecutor over the classified documents case with the federal government. So he has legitimate criminal exposure in three different areas. Now, I knew that Trump was full of it when he said he would be arrested on Tuesday, because usually they don't give you that far of an advance notice that you're going to be arrested next week. That's like me telling you, Rickey, we're going to pick you up in 3 weeks. That's just not the way it works. So I do anticipate that the grand jury will meet this week. I think they'll bring charges. They will arraign him like anyone else. Whether or not they put handcuffs on him is up to the DA, but he'll be fingerprinted and mugshotted. So those things will happen. The question is what will happen in Fulton County, and then the serious question that he has is what's going to happen with the federal government. I mean, I think he has criminal exposure. We've always thought that. He's always acted above the law, but will the law finally catch up with him? I think so.
Hey, Bakari, so this is a special case. So you speaking now, he has a lot of problems, like you said, and they are going to come to fruition in some form or fashion. What about, how do you address the people who say that this is all good for Trump? This is all helping him with his attempts to get reelected. I think it's ridiculous, but what do you say?
No, that is. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, nobody wants to spend the time and resources to go through the criminal justice system. And you know what else people tell me, Special K? They're like, oh man, he's getting arrested for paying a woman that he slept with to be silent about it. Who would ever get indicted over something like that? And I'm like, well, welcome to the chat, John Edwards. John Edwards got indicted for a very, very similar thing. In fact, he used campaign funds to silence a mistress. So this happens. This is a crime. It's illegal. And he's gone. The chickens are going to come home to roost. Now, I don't see how this helps him. I think it may divide the country. People may think that this is politically motivated, but this definitely doesn't help him.
Wow. So, like in Kentucky, they're trying to ban gender-affirming care. Along with Florida banning people under 18 gender transitioning, do you see more states, doing stuff, starting to ban rights, for the people, the LGBT community?
I do, and I think for me, it's so troubling and upsetting. I mean, we've had big discussions about, transgender athletes playing in sports. And, we have more states banning transgender athletes playing in the sport of their gender than we actually have high school transgender athletes. I mean, that is just a fact. And I think it's a lot of red meat for the base. I think people want to wage these culture war issues. And while I am protecting the rights of those who we love and care about, like in our LGBTQ community, I'm also focused on bread and butter issues, like how we're making sure that people are putting food on their table and how we're making sure that people stay in their homes. There are a lot of friends in Georgia and Tennessee to my far right, in Florida, who are trying to distract you from real issues. And they are picking on those who we have to stand up for. And that's just the fact of the matter.
Right. Do you? So when you're looking at Trump and Ron DeSantis is starting to hit back, do you think he has the charisma to win over the Republican? Because they turning on Trump. Major donors are not sending money to the Trump campaign, from what I understand.
Yeah, no. Ron DeSantis ain't it. He is not him, as the kids say. Ron DeSantis is going to have a lot of trouble. He's already fading slightly in the polls. He does not have the charisma. He's doing these things. I mean, you look at some of the stuff that he's doing with the DEI stuff down in Florida, Rickey. I mean, there is a question of how far does it go? Does it ban fraternities and sororities on college campuses in Florida? There's a legitimate thought that the answer to that is yes. And also, I mean, just personally, I don't trust men who wear heels in their boots. Ron DeSantis, he's a very short guy, so he has platform heels in his boots, and I just can't trust that, Ricky.
America's not going. They're not going to elect a 5'5" president. It's not going to happen.
Not one who wears platforms in his boots. I promise you, we're not going to do that.
Man, he came out there with some Bootsy Collins shoes on. Now, Maria, what are your thoughts? You were about to say something about the
No, I think he hit it
Nine?
when he hit it on the DEI. I think that's really extreme, and it's scary because you think about this guy could potentially run for president, and look at how extreme he's taken it in the state of Florida. So I think that's something that everyone needs to look out for because, I think that, banning black fraternities and sororities could be a possibility under this whole, anti-woke law in Florida.
Right.
So, yeah,
right. And the thing about it is when Bush ran in 2000, if you notice his campaign, he ran to the middle. And he always came to the middle, and he wasn't extreme.
Correct.
That's how he got over 10% of the black vote when he ran against John Kerry. Bakari, man, thank you so much for always jumping on. We enjoy watching you on CNN. Let everybody know how you could be reached.
I'm Bakari_Sellers at Twitter and Bakari Sellers on IG. Thank all of y'all. Thank y'all for having me. Love y'all.
All right, man. Love you, man. All right, y'all. Front page coming up next. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.